This episode, we try to take my 1984 Monte Carlo and get the paint to shine. It ain't shined since 1984, I tell you that right now.
It all tastes like chicken.
What is up, my YouTube family? Thanks for coming back. And if you're new here, do me a favor, click like and subscribe. Got my Monte Carlo from Newburn's house. We did exhaust on it to fix it from the boom tube. Took it over to Moe's, and Jeff and them did their little finger tune. Got it to run right, and I've been driving this thing around quite a bit. And what this is my 1984 Monte Carlo that we built on the show, Faster with Newburn and Cotton. I really enjoy this car. Now, the hard part about YouTube is, and you guys will agree, is coming up with content. So like, you want to do certain things, so you order your parts, you get everything going. And that's where I'm kind of sitting at right now on the van, is I'm waiting on certain parts. So you always got to produce stuff. You always got to get stuff out. And I love this car. Like, I've had G-bodies forever. Like, my Monte SS back in 91, 92 is what I had when I met Freiberger and Cole Quinnell and all these guys. And I've loved G-bodies, and I've had them all the way from Malibus, I've had Malibu wagons, I've had Hurst Olds. I just love G-bodies, and one thing, I always made them my everyday driver. There's two things on this vehicle that I do not like. One, you probably can hear it. The exhaust sounds awesome, but it's droney a little bit. This needs tailpipes. So I need to put tailpipes on it, and I get the idea of patina. I get the idea of what people are like that. But I guarantee a lot of you guys have cars from the 80s or 70s that the paint's faded really bad. There's an easy fix for it. Like, I don't like driving stuff that's patinaed or faded, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull this Monte Carlo in the shop, and we're gonna see if we can bring paint back from 1984. Now, the advantage of an older paint job is they were either shot in a single stage enamel or lacquer. Now, that tells you that you can go in there, do a little cutty cut and buffy buff, and it should shine and shine. Some people are scared to death of a buffer. And to be honest, there's nothing to be scared about. It's only the rotation that's going to happen, that you don't take off too much paint, you worry about your edges, you worry about all that. But I know that this car is, I'm not trying to make it a show car, I just want to keep driving it because I love this thing. So we're going to head to the shop and prep this up, and let's see if we can get this thing to shine. The Monte Carlo's pulled in the shop, and we're going to assess the paint. This paint is from 1984. It is all factory. This is a lacquer paint job. Lacquer was great back in the day, but you can't do it because of OSHA and all that stuff anymore. But you can actually work lacquer to shine really good. Paint jobs, most of the time, take their damage on the top of the vehicle, because that's where your sun's hitting. The side isn't as bad, but you have contaminants that'll happen. So what I always do is I want to feel and see what kind of contaminants are. And it doesn't feel as bad as you would think. From road, overspray, everything there is that can happen on this, we're gonna have to take it all off. I'm gonna attack the roof, the trunk, and the hood first. The sun does damage. When it's down on top of it, it bakes it. So you'll get a little check to it sometimes. We're lucky that the top of this vehicle is not checked as bad. Now, you go look at your car, you're like, man, it looks horrible. You can't. You know eventually you're gonna have to paint that. But if I can get away by fixing my sides to be really good, then I can go ahead and paint the top of this vehicle, and it would not know any wiser, and it'll look like it's a brand new paint job. So our goal is, by the end of this, to make this thing shine. And I'm really old school. I've been painting and doing body work for a long time. I mean, a long time. I would say probably since I was 19, and I'm 54 now. I still do a lot of the old school techniques. I still do buffing differently than the new generation. Now this new, you guys with the new generation, with your detailing and stuff, I take my hat and I tip it to you guys, because they have made it an artwork. Like, they just go in there and they use different kind of buffers, they cut this, they cut that, and they glow. But I've always been a guy that I'm gonna cut it with 1,000 and go to 2,000 and then 2,500 and then start to wheel and start buffing. And you know, I use a rotary buffer, and now they're using like an orbital buffer. And you know, it's a different kind of way that's happening now. And again, hats off to you guys, because it's an artwork. So when you guys are sitting there going, man, I don't understand why it costs so much to let somebody do my car. Well, that's why, because this isn't something that happens overnight. Well, it could, kind of, but we're going to try to get this thing done in a couple days so that we can see what the outcome is. So I'm going to go ahead. I've already washed it. I'm going to decontaminate it, which means I'm going to degrease it and everything there. And then we start. Okay, I'm going to start addressing this trunk. First things first, I'm going to degrease it. I need to assess it. I need to see how bad this really is. It's showing a little bit of stains and stuff. And I use a good cleaner. I've already washed it, which has got all that dirt off, but I use the CRC Hydroforce, and it seems to work really good. All I'm going to do is just spray this all on. We're going to wipe it off, assess it, and we're going to look and see how this is. Trying to get as much of the nastiness off of this. Sucked it in. I need to freaking wash that more. Yeah, the paint is pretty checked really bad right here. When I do this, I'm gonna have to be careful in this area. It's never gonna go away, but we're just trying to get a little bit of shine to it. It's gonna take a little bit more work than normal. I need to get some supplies to get this done. So I'm gonna go get a bucket, some soapy water, some 2500 grit sandpaper, and I'm gonna nub it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up these pores again. I'm gonna open up this paint, be real light here, and focus. I'm going to focus on the trunk, the hood, and the roof first, degrease them, but I'm going to do each section at one time so I stay ahead of the game. Otherwise, I'll be lost. But it doesn't, besides like this area that's here, one here, and one here, it needs a repaint. But it'll shine. It'll shine. I'll get this to shine. Okay, all I'm using is 2500 with a little small block in it, soapy water, and that's it. What this is gonna do is we need to get this whole surface wet, right? I'm gonna get it all wet, and what I'm gonna do is just knock off and give this just a little bit of a flat edge to it. And this is what scares a lot of people. I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm just putting it enough to just knock it down a little bit, because we want a good surface to buff. Now again, there's going to be a ton of you people, Cotton, I wouldn't do that. Well, I've been doing this for years. I'm not trying to make a show car out of it. I just want it to shine again. I'm tired of it looking flat. So quickly, I will knock this down, and it will be great to buff it, because I'm going to open this pores up back in this thing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Yes, it needs a trunk. Needs to definitely be painted. I know the roof needs to be painted, but I got no time for that. I got a van to finish. And while I'm waiting for parts for this van, this will be perfect. Now let's take a look at it. Now what's going to happen is there's a lot of this is going to go flat where you sanded. No, I did not steal this from a gas station, even though it's cheaper, but yeah, you can see the check in it. I'm gonna go just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Not much more, just a little bit more, and then we're gonna call it good on this side. Now, when you're sanding a vehicle down, these blocks are so inexpensive, okay? And here's the thing, and paint guys will tell you the same thing. If you use, you can use your hand all day long. I use it all day long. But where people fall flat is they put a hand just like this and they'll sand like this, okay? I don't want to do it hard. What that does is it causes grooves that go in here. If you're painting a vehicle, if you're sanding a vehicle, you never want this groove pattern. So if you want to, you're going to have to learn to put it on your palm, and I roll it on this palm right here. And then you just use the fatness of the palm to keep it that way. But it's just as easy to buy a little small block. Plus a block will actually be a squeegee too, but I don't. I just use my gas station squeegee, and I ain't gotta work. I mean, I didn't get it from a gas station. But you know what I mean. This side's as good as I'm gonna get it. Not trying to make it no Riddler. Trying to make it so I can just shine, baby, shine. That's all I want, is it to shine. That side's done. You always want to keep clean water. If you're sanding, you'll hear dirt. You'll hear dirt on your sandpaper. So that's why you see me adding water and wiping it and adding water. Between each stage, you always want to keep your vehicle clean. You don't need dirt, because dirt do hurt. It'll scratch your paint all up. So I'm gonna sand that side, the roof, and the hood. Yeah. Car is sanded. Now I'm going to go ahead and start running a buffer on the deck lid itself first, and then we're going to see how it shines up. Now there was some check, and I know it's in there. Like eventually you got to understand that this is going to get repainted, but right now I need it to shine because I got to look pimp driving this around. So I'm going to start on the trunk lid, then the hood, then trunk lid, roof, then the hood. And then we'll get to the sides. And in between these processes, I'm gonna have to clean it off each time. So let's get to buffing. Okay, I'm getting ready to start buffing. This is the scariest part to people. People don't understand that this button controls this pad that's gonna sit there and spin this and throw gunk all over the place, and they're just so nervous to do it. And it's really not, it's not that hard. It really isn't. This right here is just a simple buffer I've had. It's a Makita that I've had since I probably started doing paint work, and that was in 1952. Fred Flintstone and Barney actually gave me this. No, they didn't, but I am that old. And again, I do old school stuff. So since I've already knocked this down, I use an aggressive cut compound. So I use this 3M stuff that I've had forever. I use it all the time, and it'll take out these scratches. So now what we're trying to do is smooth this out. We're going to get it hot enough to smooth and take out all these little itty bitty scratches. And then we're going to take another step after that. So I'm going to start hard compounding the whole vehicle, which means not only the hood and all that, I've got to do the whole thing. Everything's got to be done with this first. And this is just a wool pad that I use. I'll clean it up during it, but let's start slinging. Yeah, this is going to take some time. This baby is sucking up some stuff in here, like a lot. So It's telling me that the lacquer's still okay, but it's also telling me I gotta do some work. She's getting a little heat in it, but wow. So I know the truth is I'm gonna put a quick shine on this. It needs to be painted. The sides will come out, but the back, it'll be shiny, but it ain't gonna be, I guarantee by the time this is done, when you see the sides compared to this, yeah, this is gonna take some work. Definitely some work and a lot of compound. It ain't the fastest job, but it's worth it. Gotta put some heat in it. That's what you wanted, was some heat, didn't you? You wanted some heat in you. Trunk's gonna take a little bit of work. It's shining better than what it was before. It's not gonna ever be perfect. I know for a fact that eventually I'm gonna have to paint the roof, the trunk, and the hood. I know it, because it's got check and it's just fighting me. But one thing I need to make sure is that these sides glow. If I can make these sides glow, my life becomes easier. I don't have to do a full paint job on it. So we're gonna try it. Put a little compound on here. Let's see what we did. I've already degreased it. I've already taken care of it. Let's wheel it and see what it looks like. That's promising. Aha, I can start seeing my reflection. All right. Dull, shiny shine. I still have different compounds I'm going to use on it, but this is showing me that we can get this thing to look nice. This is because the sun's not beating on it. So I'm going to buff this whole side out, start working on this side, quarter panel, get to the door, then start the roof, then the hood, fender, work myself around the other side. Shiny shine. I'm not going to keep you guys waiting. This takes a while. And I don't think you want to sit there and watch me keep going through the hard compounds and stuff. So this side is all hard compounded. I've wiped it down. I'm going to go ahead and use a black compound with a black pad. The waffle pad will actually build a little more heat, and then it'll take out the swirl marks that were actually put in by the wool pad. So I'm going to go ahead and black pad this side here. And then after that, we'll go ahead and hand glaze it, but you'll get the whole idea of how clean this will look when it's all done with a black pad. Again, I do things a little bit different than everybody. I like to just put this on instead of clogging up my pads. So I'll put it on. You stop falling over. This is when it starts to look really nice. And then after that, you can just put your own wax on it or whatever you want to put to seal it up. Feel good. It's feeling good. So when paint starts to feel soft. Yeah, what that means is it's feeling smooth. When paint starts to feel smooth, that means no contaminants are on it. You know, especially, I didn't sand this down. I just basically scrubbed it with a compound. And now I'm trying to get the swirls and everything out of it. But it brought life back into this again, which is huge. So it's black compounded. You guys understand how nice this thing looks. Compared to what it was in the beginning, we got some shine. And that's all I really wanted. I just wanted this thing to shine. I still have some more work to do, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the hard compound. I just wanted to show you quickly on that. And then after I do the black on the other side and the roof and all that stuff, it's ready at that point for some sort of wax. I'm excited at this point because now this looks like something I would drive because it's shiny, baby. Okay, I am done hard buffing this. It looks so much better than what it was. I need a new wool pad so I can do the second step of the hard cut because it's absorbent and it's not liking me as much. I've done washed it, wiped it off. Look, see this towel right here? Hey, this is not paid for, I'm gonna be honest with you. A buddy of mine named Kurt, he'll Suburbia Suds. If you want the baddest of all time drying towel for your vehicle, go to his site. And these suckem ups are incredible. Like you could take it, wipe it, and it comes cleaner than, or drier than you ever seen. He's a friend, go check that out. If you're wanting a good towel to dry up your vehicle, he's got them in this size, he's got them smaller, but check it out for sure. But okay, back to this. So it's good. It looks, I think it's looking a lot better. I'll do one more hard buff on the hood and the roof with a little bit lighter or not as aggressive compound, which will then smooth it out a little bit better. And then, yeah, I'm tired. My body hurts and I need another thing. So I'll see you tomorrow. New day. The new pad is working a lot better. I do realize that the hood, the roof, and the trunk are gonna need repaint. I know that. No matter how much work I'm doing to it, it's just not gonna be exactly like I want it. But the sides look phenomenal. A couple little PDRs and this thing will be great. I mean, you gotta understand something's been painted since 1984. So I'm gonna continue today by finishing up the hard buff on it and then just keep going. Like by the end of this day, I want this thing shining as best as it can. Sides looking great, the rest of the stuff looking whatever. And yeah, so here we go. All right, everything feels good. It's nice and smooth. This has got as good a shine as it's gonna get, but now I need to protect it. So after you're done doing it to your vehicle, that didn't sound good, but you know what I mean. After you're done buffing the vehicle, you have to seal it. So don't think that it's gonna be like, oh, you know, it looks great, yeah, but you gotta make sure it stays that way. And I know the sides are pretty decent, but the roof and the hood and the trunk have taken so much that I'm gonna put a good wax on it. So I'll put 2 coats of the carnauba wax on it. I use an orbital polisher to work in it a little bit, and then I'll take it off by hand, and then I come back and I found this stuff at the Mart, and I like it. I'm not paid by it, it works really good. I'll do the whole vehicle in this, and after all that's done, it's gonna be done. So I mean, is it a lot of work? Yeah, but we spend on a weekend, I got 2 days in this, and we spent on the weekend more time just sitting around watching TV than we could working on our cars. And you don't have to be scared to do this. This is just something to make it look better than what it is. You know what I'm talking about. You go out there and you look at your car and it looks faded and you're like, what do I do? Well, here you go. It's patience. Get the tools, just go out there and do it. If you mess it up, you mess it up. Like in all reality, stay away from the edges, you don't burn them. If something actually happens bad, you know what? You're gonna repaint your car anyways. Simple. So I'm gonna get to going on this. I just saved you all the hassle. I done wiped and waxed. It looks awesome, but there's only really one way we're gonna see what this looks like. Wait, hold on. That is so much better than what it was before. Little bit of hard work, no fear. Dude, it turned out better. I'll drive this thing around all day long. It looks great. So do me a favor, don't be afraid to try stuff. Get out there and look at your stuff and say, hey, maybe I should try it. It don't hurt. What don't hurt won't work, something they always say. So thanks for watching. Do me a favor, if you liked it, click like, subscribe, to likey bells and stuff like that. I'll catch you later.